Now, in related news, the family of 19-year-old terror victim Yehuda Guetta, who was killed in a drive-by shooting 2 months ago, are now filing a civil lawsuit to seize and impound the suspected terrorist's property. And this after Israel already demolished the indicted suspect's home last week. Further, the case is filed both in Israel and the United States, as the suspect is both an American and Palestinian citizen. But joining me now with more is the Guetta family lawyer, founder and president of the Shurat Hadin-Israel Law Center, attorney Nitsana Darshan-Leitner. Thank you so much for being with us. Now, what compelled the Guetta family to file a civil suit, especially in both the United States and Israel?
Look, usually there is no reason to go after the murderer. They do not have assets. They don't care about the court system. They don't care about life. There is no point to go after them. In this specific case, the murderer, the terrorist, has American citizenship, has assets in the United States, and has assets in the territories. We know that their house that was built, that Israel demolished, is on land that belongs to the terrorists. The terror victim can file a lawsuit with the Guetta family and the Peretz family, file a lawsuit to confiscate this land. In addition, they have assets in the United States, and which we are going after. We have to teach the terrorists that there is a price to Jewish blood, that they cannot pay innocent people and go without pay. In this specific case, it's not the terror organization, it's not the Palestinian Authority, it's not Hamas, it's specifically after the terrorists.
So what do you think makes this case most significant? What do you think about this case as most significant, and how are United States authorities cooperating?
Well, I'll tell you, quite frankly, I was shocked by the United States condemnation against the demolition of the house. I saw it as a pure hypocrisy. The United States screaming about destroying a house based on a one-person wrongdoing. It doesn't even consider the destroyment of the houses of the Peretz family, of the Guetta family, which occurred just because of one person doing. In addition, the United States is the last one to talk and condemn about violations of human rights. We all know what the United States is doing in Guantanamo Bay, of the 10,000s of prisoners that are held there without trial for years, torture that they have been gone through. The United States cannot preach Israel for violating human rights. The United States cannot preach Israel for punitive punishment. It's not. I'm sorry, against collective punishment. It's not punishment against the terrorists, against the family of the terrorists. It's a punishment against the terrorists itself. It's a deterrence against the terrorism. There are facts that prove that house demolition is a deterrence. Cases of parents that went and told about their sons, the terrorists, to the authorities in Israel in order to block any house demolition, turn themselves in, with all due respect.
Well, so I'd like to ask, I'm sorry for interrupting, but I'd like to ask where you are in the process now. How far along are you in this suit?
So we're just filing the lawsuit. We had to gather the evidence, which are still in the military court. The trial against the terrorists did not start yet. Once it's over, we can receive the evidence. We are in the courts in Israel, in the United States, and we'll see how we go from there.
All right, Nitsana Darshan-Leitner from the Shurat Hadin-Israel Law Center, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.